Orleans Saints were entering their second year in the National Football League when Hollywood came calling. On November the 3rd, 1968, as the New Orleans Saints entered the field to meet the Dallas Cowboys at Tulane Stadium, fans quickly noticed that quarterback Billy Kilmer appeared taller and leaner. Shortly thereafter, a second, more familiar number 17 made his entrance onto the field. The imposter was none other than Hollywood legend Charlton Heston, dressed in a Saints uniform for his role in the film Number One. Heston had been preparing for over a year for his role as aging quarterback Ron "Cat" Catlin, facing the end of his career and uncertain future.
Chuck and I did a picture together called Number One, which was inspired by a photograph that Chuck saw in Sports Illustrated of a quarterback, I think it was Y.A. Tittle, who at the end of his career was beaten badly in a game. It was down on his knees at the end of the football field, blood rushing out of his mouth and his ears and his nose. And that left an impression on Chuck. Here was a guy who had achieved everything that he might have wanted in his given world, in the world of football. And he played a little too long, stretched the career a little too far, and wound up there on the grass, really physically beaten. But I think with a look in his face, you know that he had won. He beat the odds. He made it.
A number of New Orleans Saints, as well as other former NFL players, appeared in the film, including Saints owner John Mecum Jr. In addition, local personalities in the film included music legend Al Hirt. There were over 750 extras on salary and 60 speaking parts. The close-up scenes featuring Heston as quarterback were shot at Tulane Stadium in front of a limited crowd on Mondays and Tuesdays, which were the days the Saints players had off. An ad appearing in the Times-Picayune invited spectators to come see a movie being shot. The scenes of the team on the practice field were filmed at St. Paul's School in Covington with a crew of over 75. Other shooting locales included the private home of artist George Dunbar in Slidell, 629 Royal Street as the fictional Julie Millard shop, and Al Hirt's nightclub so that Al Hirt could play himself, a trumpet player who owned part of the team. On August 21st, 1969, Heston and Walters, along with locals Hirt, Mecum, and the New Orleans Saints, attended the world premiere. Sports personalities, city and state officials, and press attended the event at the Lowe State Theaters to see their own New Orleans Saints on the silver screen. The theater was divided into 50-yard line, 40-yard line, and end zone seats. When Heston learned that the Saints and Sinners Club was interested in sponsoring the world premiere and that the Saints Foundation would benefit from the event, he agreed to take time off from filming the Hawaiians and come. He and Walters set up at the Lowe's box office earlier in the day to autograph and sell premiere tickets benefiting the victims of Hurricane Camille, which struck 4 days earlier. Heston said that the main reason for filming in New Orleans was that the Saints had no past, and added that New Orleans was the natural and ideal location for filming the movie. And now for a little lagniappe. Besides the photos and articles that you've just seen, we wanted to show you a couple of other pieces from the Pool collection that were issued by the studio at that time. Unlike today, studios issued a wide variety of movie paper sizes for each film. Here we have the one sheet, the most common size. You can still see one sheets in front of the movie theaters today. The original size of 27 by 41 was established way back in 1909 and continued until 1984 when it was reduced 1 inch to 27 by 40. Next is a set of 8 lobby cards, each measuring 11 by 14 inches. In 1969, multiplex theaters were just getting started, so the standard single-screen theater decorated their lobby with a variety of posters for the film being shown and the film that was coming next. We also have a 3-sheet, which measures approximately 3 times the size of a 1-sheet. 3 sheets and 6 sheets were used quite often at the time. Larger posters up to a 24 and 30 sheets were used for highway billboards. The studio didn't release number 1 internationally because of little interest from other countries in American football during that time. Years later, some independent releases were made in a few other countries. In coming weeks, we hope to cover a wide variety of films from around the state. So until next time, this has been your Louisiana Film History Flashback. I'm Ed Poole from Hollywood on the Bayou.